Good morning. These are your morning headlines for BYU-Idaho Radio on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. I'm Brianna Latouche. East Idaho Home Educators will have a conference this weekend in Pocatello. The opening keynote presentation will be Friday morning at 9 in the Idaho State University Pond Student Union Building. Megan Lovell, the Vice President of East Idaho Home Educators, says they have speakers who will talk about parenting, love, and logic, a therapist talking about marriage, gender roles, and self-esteem, and more. She says the topics will appeal to homeschool families of all kinds.
It's definitely geared towards homeschoolers, but even families that just want to improve their home life are welcome to come. It's very educational and a lot of just tips and tricks of the trade to help educate your children and have a good system set up at home.
This is the second time East Idaho Home Educators have had a conference. The first one was in October 2023, and the organization plans to have them yearly in January. The conference includes an adult and youth conferences. The youth conference is for kids 11 to 18 years old. Lovell is a second-generation homeschooler who says she enjoys the freedom that comes from homeschooling.
I also think that there's a lot of power in being able to have your children at home, to teach them your own principles and the things that you see as important. And you can also, set it up in a variety of ways, and it really helps children grow up being able to get different opportunities that maybe you would miss being in a public system. And it just gives a lot of freedom for their education.
The two-day conference also includes a large vendors market with a used curriculum sale. There will even be entertainment on Friday night.
We're having a concert, and it's put on by different homeschooling groups and co-ops. They're coming. We have some choirs and some different musical productions that are going on, and then we have a dance right after that.
For more information about the conference or to register online, go to eihe.org. You can also listen to our interview with Lovell on our podcast feed. Just follow BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast app. Without discussion, the Idaho House voiced its support for the Boise State University women's volleyball team and its opposition to transgender athletics policies. House Concurrent Resolution 2 does not carry the force of the law, but it does urge the NCAA and the Mountain West Conference to rescind its transgender participation policies. The resolution says the legislature calls on the NCAA to revoke its transgender student-athlete participation policy, which directly discriminates against female athletes in collegiate women's sports, and ultimately placed the Boise State University women's volleyball team in this position. No lawmakers debated for or against the resolution, which passed on a 61-8 party line vote. House Concurrent Resolution 2 now heads to the Senate. Food markets around the country are running short on eggs, and a solution may not come for months. A highly contagious virus called the avian influenza, or bird flu, wreaked havoc on the egg market, killing 17.2 million egg-laying hens in November and December alone, accounting for nearly half of all birds killed by the virus in 2024, according to USDA. In December of 2023, the average price of a dozen eggs was around $3.17. In January of 2024, the prices jumped to $5.09 a dozen and stayed consistent until October, when the average price dropped to $3.37. This month, prices have jumped again to $4.53. As the flu continues to make its way into Idaho, we may see prices surge even more. Thanks for making us a part of your morning routine. These have been your morning headlines for January 15th, 2025. We have more great content for you anytime you want it. Just search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast app. You can also ask your smart speaker to play KBYI 94.3 FM. We're also online. Head on over to byui.edu/radio to listen there. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Brianna Latouche.